So I fell into real estate as an accident. I was actually supposed to be a fifth generation jeweler, and I'd gone to Washington State University, go Cougs, and went back to the family jewelry store, was working there. My uncle was owning it. I went to him saying, I want to take over the business. When can I do that? And he said, well, I'm going to slowly work you into management, and maybe 8 to 10 years you can take over. Well, I was young and wanting to take on the world and a little bit frustrated after that conversation. My dad called me a few minutes after that because I was living with him, and he said, hey, you should come check out the home I just bought. And I said, why not? So as I was driving out there, I literally out of the blue called a buddy of mine who was struggling to find work and just said, what have you been up to? He asked me the same thing. I told him about my conversation with my uncle, and he said, you're going to a home inspection. Your dad's a realtor may be there. I hear real estate's not a bad gig. So when I got there, this nice gentleman walked out, and my buddy Ty had given me some questions to ask, and I asked him 3 questions. I said, how long do you have to go to college? He said, it's 6 weeks at the most, or 90 hours clockwork, depending on how fast you can do it. I said, how much money do you make? He said, it's a loaded question. And I said, what about you? And he said, well, I was in the Army and I made $130,000 in the first year. So it was about 3/4 of a mile to the first stop sign. After leaving that house, I called my buddy, said, you should get into real estate, and I am getting into real estate with you. I was fortunate to sell 36 homes my first year and worked hard, worked long hours, did a lot of open houses, nights and weekends, and was very thankful for the results. So my first 2 years in real estate, I was actually over in the Western Washington area, in Puyallup, Washington, to be exact. So when I moved from Western Washington over here, I stayed with the GMAC brand and ended up needing to make a change. So the only person I knew of in the greater North Idaho, Spokane area was a guy named Bruce Hardy. And I thought Bruce Hardy was actually with a different brand, but when I called him, he said he was with Keller Williams. I interviewed with him and his team leader later that day, and I joined Keller Williams officially in July of 2004. So when I joined Keller Williams, I was now married. I was desperate to have success. And remember, I only knew 12 people when I moved here. So I needed to get up and running quickly. I quickly read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and when I read it, what I realized was it was really a business model. If I just followed it, I was going to have success. So a lot of people refer to it as a playbook, right? If you've been an athlete or whatnot. But for me, it was just a model. I didn't know anything different, so I just applied it and started building. We ended up getting pregnant with beautiful twins that are now 19. And I decided at that time that I now have 3 others to provide for, and it acted as a catalyst for me. So I decided to add leverage into my world, which is the first step, in the MREA model of getting a good assistant. So I got an assistant, and that helped me go up by about 40% in production. So from there, I added a buyer's agent. Then we added another buyer's agent, another buyer's agent. So here we are today. We have myself, 3 producing agents, and ISA, my full-time executive assistant, who also doubles as our listing manager and marketing manager. And then we also have our part-time transaction coordinator, who's amazing, and we're very thankful for the team we've been able to create. So I keep my team motivated and aligned with the vision by really, I follow the MREA, right, from a model perspective. But the key ingredient in that is accountability. So we do weekly accountability sessions. Gary Keller said this years ago, and it really stuck with me. The purpose of real estate is to fund your perfect life. And he was quick to say, guys, everybody in this room has a different definition of a perfect life. So what we do is each October, the teammates determine what they want to net the following year. Our job as a team is to help you achieve that and enjoy the ride. I view Keller Williams as an extension of our team. So, right, I have a team leader who is amazing and pours into us and encourages us as a whole, that they will go to bat for us under any circumstance. So what's next for our team is just to continue to show up as the best version of ourselves. Our goal would be to grow 20% year over year, which is doable, and that should open opportunities to continue to bless others and see the possibilities they have within themselves.